Man, you gotta see this clip. Look at the guy BigXThaPlug just outside a Dallas club, metal glinting on his glasses. The camera doesn't lie, everything's caught in one shot. Confetti still on the ground from New Year's Eve, and then chaos, his homies hit in the head. Pure panic in his voice. But the real twist? Nobody expected who leaked the footage. It didn't come from his camp. Once you see that, it flips the whole story. This was a New Year's nightmare in Dallas. Stepping into the Dallas club scene on New Year's isn't a casual it's electric, unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous. Over the past few years, the city's rap world has faced some brutal losses, rivalries erupting, and friendships shattered. So, when the Pink House Dallas dropped news of their December 31st, 2025 grand opening, everyone buzzed. Fresh venue, hype performances, and the city's hottest names set to ring in 2026. At the center of it all, BigXThaPlug, the Dallas native, climbing charts, racking streams, and crossing into mainstream territory. If you're not on Big X yet, it's time to get familiar. Big X came out swinging, blending gritty southern trap with hints of country twang that made everyone stop and listen. Texas blew up, going double platinum with over 330 million streams. Then, smash triple platinum. He's not just a local legend, he's collabed with Roma, Jelly Roll, Shabootsy, and others, carving out a niche in country trap crossover music. His August 2025 album, I Hope You're Happy, proved he's versatile, unafraid, and aiming for the top dot, but with every rise there's a shadow. Not everyone cheers when someone climbs the ladder. Some wait in silence, plotting, and Big X wasn't immune. Earlier in 2025, legal trouble shadowed him. February brought an arrest for unlawful firearm possession. And again in August, same scenario pulled over with straps and loud, forcing him to cancel promo events. Blogs buzzed, the streets whispered, and the tension grew through it all. Big X stayed focused, grinding in the studio, keeping a tight inner circle. And one name kept showing up beside him, Z the Wizard. Z, real name Zachary Cannon Grantfields, 25, South Dallas's Oak Cliff neighborhood, was a story of resilience. Football dreams cut short by injury, he could have given up, but he didn't. He turned to music and found his lane. Projects like Who'd Profit and Wiz Who Is Z highlighted a rapper with a different vision, motivation, hustle, survival, not just street flexing or beef. The Dallas Observer had already put Z the Wizard on their radar, naming him one of the top 20 rappers to watch in the DFW area. This kid was grinding hard, slowly but surely growing his Spotify numbers, about 25,000 monthly listeners, and building a loyal fan base, track by track. Then came the breakthrough moment every indie artist dreams about. In August 2025, Z inked a deal with Future's Free Bands label. That endorsement? Massive. Big names like G Herbo and Rod Wave had already shown him respect. And suddenly the path to mainstream success felt wide open. The Dallas rap renaissance was real. Artists like Zillionaire Doe, Montana 700, Headhano Amir, and Himothy Jung were reshaping the narrative, proving that the city could rise without the endless internal conflicts that had haunted the scene since Mo3's murder in 2020. So, when New Year's Eve finally arrived and both Big X and Z rolled up to the Pink House for the grand opening, the energy was supposed to be pure celebration. Midnight was approaching. Bottles were popping. The club was packed wall to wall with partygoers, ready to usher in 2026 with live performances and high vibes. Big X was on stage, commanding the crowd. Z was right there beside him, day one, mentee and loyal homie, someone Big X had co-signed every chance he got. The moment was meant to be a showcase of unity, a symbol that Dallas artists could lift each other up and succeed together, but the streets don't care about holidays, resolutions, or good intentions. They don't pause for champagne or confetti. Just after 3:45 a.m., in the parking lot outside the Pink House, everything erupted. According to multiple reports, an argument broke out. Some insiders say it began inside the club, possibly over Z tossing cash during his set. Others insisted escalated outside when words were exchanged, tempers flaring. Whatever sparked it, things escalated faster than anyone could react. Eyewitnesses reported seeing individuals approach Z, accusing him of theft. Then punches were thrown, and then guns appeared possibly from nearby parked cars. Street rumors claimed there were 2 pistols and 2 ARs involved. What followed was utter chaos. Gunfire ripped through the parking lot, and when it stopped, 5 people were struck. 4 victims were rushed to hospitals in various conditions. But the worst hit was the Wizard himself, multiple gunshot wounds, including one to the head. Big X, meanwhile, had been inside the club when the shooting began. Sources say he ducked behind the bar, navigating the chaos, and somehow managed to escape without injury. But when he stepped outside and realized what had happened to his boy, the moment was pure shock, and it was captured on camera. There he stood in the pink-lit parking lot, wearing his orange jacket, leaning against a car, completely stunned. "Look at the plug on my metal glass. They tripping, bro. See in the head," he shouted, a raw reaction that would soon spread like wildfire across social media. That clip captured something that no editing or filter could ever fake. Raw, uncut grief unfolding live. BigXThaPlug, processing in real time that his homie, the one he had been riding with, mentoring and co-signing, had just been shot in the head. All of it happening on a night meant for celebration, music, and champagne. Once it hit the internet, the reaction was immediate. Views exploded, climbing past 100,000 as people shared, commented, and speculated non-stop about what actually happened outside the Pink House. Meanwhile, the Dallas Police Department was slammed with over 750 calls that night about Celebrate on Fire, making it nearly impossible to track the Pink House shooting in real time. And as always, social media did what it does best: amplified everything, blurred facts with rumors, and transformed tragedy into a spectacle. But then things took a darker turn. Somebody decided to weaponize the footage. In hip-hop, tragedy almost always attracts vultures' rumor mill spin, and suddenly anyone with a phone becomes an investigator, journalist, or worse, instigator. In the days after the Pink House incident, grief collided with conspiracy theories online, creating chaos that would ripple across the community. First, let's talk about Z the Wizard. Initial updates spread like wildfire, falsely claiming he had died on the scene. Affiliates like Montana 700 immediately pushed back on social media, asking fans to stop spreading false information and to send prayers. He was still fighting. The family faced the unimaginable trauma of nearly losing him, all while navigating a flood of online misinformation. Z was hooked up to life support, fighting for every breath, while doctors did everything they could. For days, the Dallas rap scene collectively held its breath. Then, on January 5th, 2026, the tragic news landed. Z the Wizard had lost his life. 25 years old. A father, an artist on the rise, just beginning to reap the rewards of a major label deal now gone, lost to what appears to have been a senseless parking lot shootout. The loss sent shockwaves across the hip-hop world. Tributes poured in from every corner of the industry, and streams of his music surged as fans, new and old, rushed to connect with his catalog one last time. But even amid genuine mourning, a darker narrative emerged online. Remember that viral clip of Big X's reaction, the stunned moment when he realized Z had been shot in the head? Rumors started circulating that his Opps rivals or enemies from the street had somehow gotten hold of that video and were using it to mock him. The story being spun was that the attack had been aimed at Big X, and Z had taken the hit meant for his homie. Here's the reality check. Despite all the chatter online, there's no confirmed proof that Big X's enemies were responsible for sharing the video. The clip went viral because that's what happens in today's social media age. Raw, emotional, shocking content spreads fast. Outlets like My Mixtape News and other hip-hop pages picked it up, fueling speculation, but the truth is the video's reach was organic. Shock, grief, and a phone camera. That combination alone was enough to make it explode. The clip didn't just go viral, it exploded. Blogs embedded it in articles, and ordinary people reposted it across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Was it actual rivals trying to disrespect Big X, or just online speculation spinning out of control? That part is unclear. Law enforcement hasn't confirmed any targeting, and no evidence has emerged proving that Opps orchestrated the leak. But as always, the rumor mill ran wild, and it got downright insane. One of the most shocking theories making the rounds online claimed that BigXThaPlug allegedly shot his own friend. You read that right? People on YouTube and Facebook were dissecting grainy parking lot footage, frame by frame, insisting they could see Big X firing the fatal shot that struck Z the Wizard. According to the theory, disputes over money, music deals, or personal drama had somehow escalated to ultimate betrayal. Let's set the record straight. There is zero forensic evidence supporting this claim. The video is shaky, shot at night amid chaos, during what multiple sources described as a multi-person gunfire exchange. Big X and Z were publicly tight day ones, homies, collaborators. Big X has been visibly mourning Z online, and everyone who knows them confirms their relationship was strong. As of January 15, 2026, Dallas police haven't implicated Big X in any way. The investigation continues, but no charges have been filed against him or anyone in his crew. Still, the internet doesn't care about facts. Big X's past brushes with gun-related arrests fueled speculation that he stays strapped and might be capable of violence. Online critics drew connections, most of them tenuous at best, linking this tragedy to famous hip-hop betrayals from years past. Echo chambers amplified the rumors, and suddenly, a grieving man who had just lost his friend was being accused of the worst possible act. Another theory circulated, the so-called targeted hit hypothesis. This one claimed the shooting was actually aimed at Big X because of his rising fame and potential beefs within Dallas' rap scene, but that Z the Wizard ended up taking the bullets instead. Supporters of this idea cited Big X's platinum plaques, his high-profile collaborations, and mainstream success as motives for jealousy or revenge from rivals. Some YouTube breakdowns ran with this narrative, insisting someone was specifically after Big X or a member of his entourage. But police statements contradicted that story. Investigators described the shooting as stemming from a spontaneous altercation, not a planned attack. No prior threats toward Big X have been confirmed publicly. While it's true that success in rap can attract enemies, and Big X has had minor beefs-like issues with Lil CJ Casino over a robbery situation, disputes with Finesse 2 regarding a collab, and disagreements with Big Yavo over lyrics, none of these conflicts are connected to the Pink House shooting. And then there's the footage that really shook people. Beyond the viral reaction video of Big X, another clip surfaced that allegedly showed the actual moment Z the Wizard was shot. This raw, graphic footage recorded on a phone with watermarks visible captured the mayhem in the parking lot, people scattering, muzzle flashes lighting the night, and Z reportedly collapsing after taking the fatal shot. Social media exploded with reactions, many calling the clip deeply disturbing and urging it to be deleted. Speculation ran rampant. Some believed the footage had been leaked by Opps as a way to claim responsibility or taunt Big X's camp. Others suggested it might show friendly fire within Z's own crew. The police, however, have not confirmed any of these claims. Z's memorial took place on January 11, 2026, at Inspiring Body of Christ Church in Dallas. Around 100 attendees gathered, many dressed in Z's signature blue. His mother spoke, and a pastor addressed the crowd about the dangers of gun violence. Those present chanted, "This life matters." Police were on site, but no rivals showed, and the service passed peacefully. Viral rumors about funeral footage were quickly debunked as clickbait designed to drive views. In the aftermath, Z's mother, Lynn Grant, launched a GoFundMe aiming to raise $100,000 to cover funeral expenses and support the family. Some critics attacked her online for asking that amount, but she defended her son's legacy, emphasizing his role as a provider and the dreams he had for his family. Meanwhile, the Pink House Club came under fire for security failures and for posting about dancer earnings shortly after the tragedy, tone-deaf move that sparked even more outrage. Speculation about a PR stunt circulated, suggesting the incident or even the viral footage was exaggerated for attention. Similar to claims that Big X's August 2025 arrest had been staged to boost album hype. But any idea of a manufactured event collapses when considering the reality. Z the Wizard actually died. You can't fake a funeral, a grieving mother, or a real casket. This heartbreaking scenario highlighted an ongoing struggle in hip-hop, violence, misinformation, exploitation, and the difficulty of distinguishing real grief from online speculation. Unfortunately, the pattern is familiar. The combination of a rising star, a violent incident, viral footage, and endless conspiracy theories has repeated many times, often with names far bigger than Big X or Z the Wizard. Understanding this historical context helps explain the public and online reaction to the Dallas tragedy. The comparison is stark. Think Tupac shocker, September 1996, Las Vegas. After a Mike Tyson fight, Pac was riding in Suge Knight's BM when a white Cadillac pulled up and opened fire. Tupac survived the initial attack but succumbed 6 days later from internal injuries, just 25 years old, the same age as Z when he was killed. That case remained unsolved for decades, giving rise to endless conspiracy theories. And just like with Tupac, the combination of fame, violence, and viral accounts ensures that speculation spreads faster than the truth. Even decades later, Tupac Shakur's death fuels speculation. Some fans insist he faked it, hiding out in Cuba under the Machiavelli persona, a nod to the Renaissance thinker Machiavelli, who allegedly advised faking your death to deceive enemies. Others point to the posthumous release, the Dawn Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory, dropped under that alias as evidence that Tupac orchestrated his own disappearance. Alleged sightings popped up worldwide from Malaysia to New Mexico. Even after Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested in 2023 for allegedly orchestrating the Las Vegas shooting as gang retaliation, some refused to accept the official narrative. Then came the theories implicating Suge Knight, claiming he ordered the hit to stop Tupac from leaving Death Row Records, calculating that posthumous album sales would be more lucrative than letting a living Pac walk away. Another line of speculation involved Sean Diddy Combs, allegedly paying $1 million bounty through Crips members as part of the East Coast-West Coast feud. That Suge was in the car during the shooting only deepened suspicion instead of clearing his name. 6 months later, the notorious B.I.G. was killed in a similar drive-by in Los Angeles, another tragedy that remains officially unsolved. Conspiracy theories swirled endlessly. Some suggested Biggie's death was revenge for Tupac, possibly orchestrated by death row insiders using corrupt LAPD officers. Biggie's family even sued the LAPD in 2007, alleging involvement. Detective Russell Poole spent years investigating connections between the Rampart scandal and the murder. Others claimed Diddy hired Crips members for Tupac's shooting, and Biggie's death was unintended fallout, or that both deaths ultimately benefited him financially as posthumous classics. Fast forward to 2019, and the pattern continued. Nipsey Hussle was shot outside his Marathon clothing store in Los Angeles by Eric Holder, who was later convicted in 2022. The killing reportedly stemmed from a personal dispute, though conspiracy theories immediately exploded online. The most popular claim? Nipsey was silenced to halt a documentary on Dr. Sebi, the herbalist who claimed to have cures for diseases like AIDS and cancer, allegedly to protect pharmaceutical profits or cover up shadowy agendas. Videos promoting these theories racked up millions of views. Even XXXTentacion's 2018 murder generated its own wave of speculation. Despite 4 men being convicted for the robbery-turned-homicide outside a Florida motorcycle shop, some fans tried to drag Drake into the narrative after a deleted Instagram post hinted at threats, with claims that, if anyone tries to kill me, it was a champagne poppy. I'm snitching our N. Defense attorneys even attempted to subpoena Drake as a witness to introduce doubt, though nothing tied him to the crime. Years later, fans still reference the theory, with unrelated mentions popping up like boxer Ryan Garcia, who recently fueled temporary buzz with unverified claims that were quickly debunked. When the BigXThaPlug tragedy hit Dallas, the pattern was eerily familiar. Rising artists with street ties? Check. Public shooting at a high-profile event? Check. Viral footage capturing the immediate aftermath? Check. No arrests, no clear answers? Check. Naturally. The conspiracy theories would multiply and multiply. They did. Online chatter immediately suggested everything from a targeted hit to an inside job. That's what happens when the hip-hop world loses one of its own under violent circumstances, and the truth doesn't come fast enough. But what makes the Dallas incident particularly gut-wrenching is that this was supposed to be different. The new Dallas movement was built to prevent exactly this kind of tragedy after MO3 was murdered on a Dallas highway in November 2020, a killing allegedly orchestrated by Yellowy through a hired hitman. The local scene had fractured. Long simmering beefs boiled over, threatening to swallow up everything good about DFW hip-hop. Artists like Zillionaire Doe, Montana 700, Head Huncho Amir, Z the Wizard, and Hemothy Jung stepped up, sending a clear message: unity over division, collaboration over competition, and community over street politics. BigXThaPlug was at the forefront, using his platform to lift younger talent like Z the Wizard. He brought Z on tour, co-signed his tracks, and showed the city what it looked like when established acts supported emerging artists rather than seeing them as rivals. Z, in turn, was known for positivity. His music focused on motivation, grinding, and survival, steering clear of dissing opponents or escalating conflicts. Projects like Who'd Profit and collaborations with Young Dawn reflected an artist committed to aspirational, non-destructive hip-hop. And yet, despite all those efforts,